They are absolute garbage.
A total piece of garbage.
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 Garbage. Talking about garbage.
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 Garbage. Talking about garbage.
I'd love to be nice, but I'm dealing against real garbage.
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 Can I use the word garbage?
Garbage.
Garbage.
She's a scum. She's garbage.
To make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
So what was that all about? Well, that Lincoln Project commercial, funny as it was simply a reply to MAGA, the whole movement, and Trump himself going up in arms about what Joe Biden said, which was this.
President Joe Biden is coming to the defense of the Puerto Rican people after a comedian's racist joke at a Trump rally on Sunday.
Free speech is under attack, people.
The comedian calling Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. But now, President Biden is facing backlash after this comment on a Zoom call.
He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country. Give me a break. And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done, everything we've been.
Trump on X calling both Biden and Harris unfit to be president. Trump addressing the comment at his rally Tuesday night.
That's terrible. Remember Hillary? She said deplorable. Oh, that didn't work out. Garbage, I think, is worse, right?
Allow me. You see, if you're a thinking person, your first question is, how could that possibly offend them? I mean, the amount of times in the years gone by, none of that ever offended them when Trump said it, but now it offends them. Obviously, they are just pretending. They're just playing it up and using anything they can to play the victim. YouTube, they believe it. They believe it and they forgot every instance, even if you showed them the video. But I know. Stick with me. Allow me to give you a little something that'll blow your mind. Truth and objective reality aren't real. They don't exist. Objective reality is simply an agreement amongst the people, amongst society, of the rules they wish to believe in. The rules of reality. In George Orwell's book, 1984, he tried to tell us this in a beautiful, poetic, dark way. If you'll give me 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes of your time, by the end of the video, I'll prove it to you. This Monday, on the 4th, the day before the election day, I'm going live with Big Sarge, a.k.a. Admin Tim from the Sons of Liberty. And we're going to be talking about how did we get here? How did the Republican Party go so far right? And how did the Democratic Party follow along like they had a hook in their nose with a chain attached to it? What I'm going to do is preview that Monday show right now with the ending. I know, it's different. I'm like that. Where we end up is this moment, and I want to give you the beginning of this moment, the beginning of the end. I want to show you exactly how the people that you see around you can see the same things that you see and believe something completely different while seeing it. And it started here.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
YouTube. Why did he tell that lie? I mean, besides just to boost the ego of a maniacal person who happens to be president, which is a very good reason to do so, that lie is unnecessary. Amongst the plethora of things that would happen during that presidency, that lie from the beginning was unnecessary, and it was on video, on camera. The lie was not a lie just about bluster. The lie was a lie of power. It was the first test. The idea that you could see truth, objective reality in front of you, and deny it in order to still be a part of the group was the first test. It wasn't that well stated, and I don't even know if a buffoon like Trump meant it like that. It just so happens that he's the type of conduit that the 1984 book realizes in its words.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says there are not 4, but 5, then how many?
5.
No. That's no use. You're lying.
That clip you just watched is from the ending, around the middle of the ending of the book, where our protagonist has to literally not only say that he sees 5 fingers, but believe it. Understand that the question of how many people did you see at the inauguration is equal to how many fingers do you see? And it's not good enough for you to lie about it. You have to have the disciplined mind that actually sees the 5 fingers. After 4 years of that kind of absolute authoritarian training of what they agree on is true, is that which the state says is true, the state in this case being Donald Trump, you get these 2 stories. Here's the first one.
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
How do you feel when you watch this?
You know, I think I'm more numb when I look at this stuff. It's like surreal to me. I mean, look how angry I look.
Rachel Powell, also known as the Pink Hat Lady, is about to begin a 5-year prison sentence for her role in the January 6th attack on the US Capitol.
How often does a president ask you to come to a rally? Doesn't happen.
At some point, this goes from peaceful protest to you having an ice axe in your hand, breaking a window, trying to get into the Capitol. How did that happen?
It got violent, and it was violent for a while, and I'm completely in pain. And
because you had been hit?
Oh man, I'd been hit with a baton, I'd been grabbed and thrown, I'd been sprayed. I mean, my whole body was on fire. I don't think there was rational thinking in my head at that point. And I didn't have an ice axe that passed through the crowd. Somebody put it in my hands, and it was only in my hands long enough to take out that window pane, and yet I've been charged with a deadly weapon.
Somebody give you the ice axe?
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't know who they were. I don't know where it came from. I don't know where it went.
I grew up, and I guess you probably did too, of being told, you know, if a police officer tells you to do something, you should probably do it. That didn't happen that day, of course. The police were telling you guys to go away.
They never actually told us to go away. I never had an officer look at me and say, you need to leave or I'm going to arrest you.
Did you notice anything there? She didn't hear the officers tell her to stop. She only felt the pepper spray on her face while her body burned. As if those are 2 different things. Yes, she believes that. She has no choice. Her reality is the agreement that it is impossible that what she does in the state's name is wrong.
Do you regret that day?
I have a lot of remorse for ruining my family's life. I mean, in one day, I destroyed everything. For nothing. I don't have remorse for attending protests. I don't have remorse for speaking out and saying that I believe that the election is stolen. I do have remorse for breaking a window and destroying my whole family's life, and for thinking irrationally and not realizing, like, why don't you just sit down at this protest? Like, I love my children so much. And so it's like the last thing that they can take from me. That'll be the hard part. And I don't deserve this, and my kids don't deserve it. Like, have we not been through enough? Like, that's the last thing that we have to lose is each other. With January 6th, I cannot prove it was a setup. But I feel like, what if it was?
People watching this might say, well, you were duped by Trump and everybody around him, and the election wasn't really stolen, and you buying into this has kind of ruined your life. Do you ever feel a bit pissed off with Trump?
No, absolutely not.
Her main problem is that she's being taken away from her kids. She's sorry she broke a few windows, but that's no reason to take her away from her kids. You say that's ridiculous. Orwell says she has been purposefully and perfectly trained, and she's in agreement with the reality that we see around us. It's no longer objective. That's the fact. You may be looking for this objective truth, but that's not the case. Here's my second story.
Madison County tested its voting machines on the morning of October 3rd. The test ensures every vote is counted accurately. This live stream video shows the process, which involved several Madison County voters invited to participate. At the top of the screen, you can see former congressional candidate Larry Savage Jr. participating in the test.
As that was being conducted, he took 2 of the ballots, folded them up, put them in his pocket, and left.
Investigators also say he posted on a social media page condemning Madison County election procedures after taking those ballots.
This is what he told the Fox affiliate there. This is the article. This is political bullshit. Former Republican candidate charged with stealing Madison County election ballots. Savage told these outlets that he did not mean to hurt anyone and was, quote, just trying to fight for our country.
Now, I have something coming on voter fraud. I'll be recording it tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be up on Friday. But the voter fraud itself is not the story. The story is, did you hear how he said he was just trying to support, defend, fight for his country? You think he's lying. I say he's not. From the very first inauguration, from that first question, the very first test, of what do you agree to be reality? Is it 4 or is it 5? He has been answering 5 every year, all the way along the way. Right now, when you hear him say something like, I was just trying to defend my country and I want a free and fair election, so I stole the ballots, he means it. I know. You don't get it. You don't get it yet. Watch again. Our protagonist and our state punisher, 1984.
I wish I could.
Which do you wish? To persuade me that you can see 5, or really to see them?
Really to see them.
Again? How many, Winston?
I don't know. I don't know.
Better.
I don't know. That's both the question and the right answer. Every single one of the undecideds who still can't figure it out, who say they don't know, they have been thoroughly brainwashed into the new reality that they had to agree to piece by piece by piece by piece. And every time that we look the other way, or that we say this isn't that bad, or we say it's something that it's not, i.e., we wait till the last minute to call fascism what it was. At that point, we've made so many agreements with the falsehood and the fake reality that our society, our news media, our friends, our family, our grandparents are at risk of falling into the new agreement. They never heard him say garbage. When they did hear him say garbage, that's not what he meant. Language is the basis of our reality. It's only through language that we came to an agreement on what is real and what is not. Through language, we communicated science, and we would agree that science is the rules. It doesn't have to be. At the end of the book, our protagonist is happy to see 5 fingers. He's happy because now objective reality conveys his truth. I'll see you on the next one.